Fiona, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Hi, how are you?
Trying to DJ. I hope my music is not as bad.
No, it's okay. It's good.
Yeah, there are so many things I can do, but possibly not DJing. I'll have to take care of this. How is your Thursday? Like we said, Nairobi, Thursday is the new Friday. How are you?
Thursday is good. So far, so good. I can't complain. Yeah, I've been very busy, but good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, this is better
Mm-hmm.
light. I just always feel like it's until you get on here that you realize either your lighting is good or not good or anything, but I
Yeah.
just, yeah. I'm really fine. I think it's interesting that the sun is out in Nairobi. It's a good week. It's better than last week, but it's very unpredictable. We don't know how long this is going to stay. But nevertheless, we move.
Yes. We move.
Yes. How is Lukhu? How is business going?
Business so far, so good. We are getting a lot of traction, which is amazing. We're doing a lot of discovering our audience, our users. So like having conversations with them, getting to hear about their experience and whatnot, which is very interesting for us because you see, even when you've been looking at something for long enough, getting a fresh pair of eyes or fresh pair of insights and whatnot, I think it goes a really long way. It makes a huge impact for you. So we're learning a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really interesting. I feel like, there's a way online or e-commerce has taken shape since COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
Myself so lost that I don't want to get out of my office even for months if possible. And the
Yeah.
ease that you can sell, you can buy, you can do that is quite phenomenal. But let's just kick this off. I feel like I was trying to see if we can get us, a few people to join in before we start. But I guess the others will join in along the way. It's good to have you, Fiona. You and I have had conversations from the day we met around local entrepreneurship and how to work together. But just take us a step back. What is local?
So Lukhu, we're a fashion e-commerce startup based in Kenya,
Yeah.
and we're making it safe, convenient, and affordable to buy, sell, and discover fashion online.
So, how many buyers or sellers do you have at the moment? Would you say the platform is having at the moment?
So yeah, so far we've been having a lot of traction. We have over 1,600 users on our platform so far, and close to 400 of them being sellers. And over 1,200 of them being buyers. So, and we have really good interaction on the platform. We have over 40,000 items listed on the platform. So I feel like we're doing really well. We have a lot of items. If you want to buy from whatever category you want to check out, can easily get them on Lukhu.
Yeah, selling online. I think people look at it as an easy way. I will get on my Instagram, show to the world what I have, and then probably get buyers, or I'll get to my Facebook, depending on which platforms they are. But we've seen, like in the Western world, platforms like Amazon, eBay have shaped the economics of things. If you look at it now, they even host some of the world's biggest billionaires. My question probably goes to, as somebody who probably would love to start selling, I'm into fashion, probably I've started my line, I don't know where to start from. Obviously, I don't have the funding or the money to even open a store or to be able to advertise. For example, as a business, you need to put in money to advertise even on Facebook or Instagram. Where do I start? How do I start?
Okay, so as a seller starting out, of course, the first thing would be you first need to know who your audience is. So you need to understand who you're trying to sell to. If you have, like, for example, if I'm in campus and a lot of my friends are within the age, let's say, of 21 to 24. So I know that if I can easily appeal to people within my age bracket because I also understand the sense of style within that bracket. So I just need to start now doing my research on the people who I want to target. You understand? So do a lot of research, have a bit of something known as like customer obsession. So be obsessed with your customers who you're trying to target. So find out where they shop, find out who they follow on social media, find out even what.
that sounds like a business plan. I'm sending you. Do I really need to put a business plan together?
Yes, you really do, because I feel like at the end of the day, you're still going to invest your time and probably even your money into the business. So of course, you really have to give it a proper plan. You need to have a proper plan for it, and also even have a backup plan just in case it doesn't work. You understand? So you really have to think about it. You really have to go to the nitty-gritties before you start. So you just just understand who you're trying to sell to. If you already know who it is, it won't even take that much time. Because, for example, if I'm targeting people in my age bracket, I know who we follow on social media. I know what is trending. I know what's sense of style people within my age like. So it's easy for me even to go and source things like that, like to source supply. In that way, knowing whatever it is I'm going to look for. So instead of just going to get things from all over the place, just picking items, not really focusing on a specific need, you might just come and start selling online and no one wants to buy, or you don't get any traffic or the traction that you need. So you really need to do the research before you start. So yeah, I think the first main step and first main tip, I think, or word of advice, is just do your research. Understand who you're targeting first. Understand what you want to do. Understand your space, competitors, what your competitors are doing. I think that's the most important thing, the first and most important thing.
And how do you identify the platform to actually put the merchandise on?
So,
for example, how I Lukhu that this is my target audience?
Yes. So I would advise that you first do your research on the platform that you're going to be working on. So you also try and understand maybe the traffic that comes on that platform, how many people are using the platform, so we really get a bigger audience. Also, secondly, you'd need to understand what does this platform offer. So for example, like with Lukhu, you'd find already there are people who are selling fashion online on Instagram, on Facebook. But if you look at the whole ecosystem of selling online on social media platforms, you'd find that there's some things that you'd have to outsource on your own. So like, for example, if you're selling on Instagram, you already know that you'd have to outsource your delivery. So where you're going, the person who's going to deliver your items to to your buyer. And also maybe if you have a lot of inventory, so where you're going to do your storage, you'd have to also outsource delivery, the prices. I'm just being distracted. So yeah, but you'd have to outsource like the delivery and also packaging. You'd have to get your own packaging, so you need to invest in that as well, extra money. So, and now like with a platform like Lukhu, you'll still be able to reach the audiences that you reach on social media, because we'll still do our marketing on our platform, on the app, and also on our social media platforms. And also you'd find that with Lukhu, for our sellers, what we're offering as a value add is we can come, we pick items from you, we manage your stock. So we take pictures of your items, we store your items. Whenever you get an order, we deliver the order. So basically, by managing your shop, literally all you need to do is outsource for your supply, for your stock, and just bring it to us and just give us the different prices for your items, and we'll do the rest. We'll manage your shop, list, even do marketing on social media, take good pictures for your items, and then but yeah, at the end of the day, that's basically it. You just need to understand that the values that you're getting from the platform that you're going to sell on, is my money safe, or is as a buyer, for example, can I get my item returned if it's not what I ordered for, if it comes as a completely different item. So you'd also just need to understand also the values, or the value add that you would get from the platform that you're trying to sell on.
So that's like, do I just go on my individual platform, or do I work with a platform that really at least markets a little bit more, doubles my marketing strategy, even as I'm flipping their marketing my products? Or but still you have to put in some energy in terms of putting a plan together and understanding your and be able to advertise that. That's not little work, we have to say. It's quite some work that in there. I mean, having worked with thousands of entrepreneurs, especially here in Kenya, those that are selling on the platform, what are some of the trends you've noticed? And more so, I mean, if we don't pick out some of these mistakes or things, moving forward becomes a little bit harder. What have you realized, and what trends are those?
So how it is in the market right now, the people who are selling online, you'd find that they don't cater for returns and refunds. So if you go visit most of the online shops selling fashion, you'd find in the bio they have the no return, no refund options. I mean, information that's written no return, no refund. So I feel like that is one major flaw in our in our system, or how things are working right now, because you'd find that some people get conned. So you'd see an item with a specific picture, a specific image online, you like it, you place the order. So remember there was a trending there's a while back, something was trending that what you ordered versus what you get. So you find that you're ordering for a really pretty dress on a model, but it comes and it's something completely different. And already in the bio, it's already written that you can't.
Hold it there. As a platform, do you like how is it called? Due diligence? Like if I am selling on your platform, do you like check out the products I have?
Yes. So we make sure that we communicate with all the sellers when they're being onboarded onto the platform. So I think 99% of all the sellers who've come to the platform have come through like having a direct conversation with someone explaining to them what we're all about, explaining to them what we're trying to offer, what added advantage do you have from selling on our platform, and then they join on the platform. And you'd find, even for us, we go even to the market. So you'd find we'd go to Toy, we'd go to Gikomba, the physical shops in town, and talk to the sellers. And so with that, we'll be able to actually see your physical shop. Having these conversations with you, we'll actually be able to understand a little bit more about your business, maybe check you out on social media if you're already selling online. So yeah, we do a lot of due diligence. So for the ones who we've gotten from online, we've been visiting their pages. We tell them we've seen you, this is what we like about you, and we think you'd work on our platform. And the ones we've approached physically, so you'd find they don't sell online, they really solely focus on the physical store. So we tell them the advantages of moving online, and we look at the stock that they have. We help them even to take pictures of some of these products and list them on our platform.
Amazing.
Yeah. So guaranteed every seller on our platform is a legit seller.
That's so much confidence. I mean, with online buying, like you say, what you order is not usually what you get. But as an entrepreneur, a lot of us out there, even how you and I have met, is through wanting to network, wanting to be mentored in different ways. There are particular ways you can be mentored. And I know that for a lot of people that start up businesses, one of the things they will say is, I'm looking for mentorship. I'm looking for growth, and how I look at Lukhu is not just a platform, but it's also like an incubation. Do you provide support that goes beyond just selling on the platform in terms of teaching them how to sell, or empowering them? Is this something that you get on the platform as a seller?
So starting this quarter, that's what we want to do. We want to do a lot of mentorship for our sellers. We want to give, like you see for this video, we're giving like insights and tips on how to start selling online. And we want to have a continuous program throughout this quarter, where we're going to be empowering sellers on now like tips to sell online, maybe mistakes that you need to avoid. We talk to other sellers as well who are probably more advanced in the field, and they come and give us advice, or maybe like give us their stories on how they started, the challenges they faced, and their story of where they are now and where they want to go in future. We want to empower sellers even with information about like growing your business, maybe like financial education, how to manage the money. Once you start making money, how to make that money, like how to make more money using that money. And like just at the end of the day, we also want our sellers and our seller community to grow, and their businesses to thrive as well. And at the end of the day, when their businesses grow and their businesses thrive, we will have literally attained what it is we're trying to do, achieved whatever we're trying to do. So yeah.
That's amazing. I just want to go a bit beyond, away from the sellers and buyers, and look at Lukhu as a platform. For you and obviously your partners coming up with this, I'm assuming there was a bit of influence, for example, in terms of how the market had probably reacted. to online buying or e-commerce? Is this the case? And is it that we're seeing a lot of people shifting to online in Kenya?
So actually, how this started, one of our co-founders, his name is Benedict. He used to sell fashion when he was in campus. So he used to go buy thrift from Gikomba and then go and sell it in school. And it was a thriving business for him. And it was now something like building an e-commerce platform for fashion was something that he's been wanting to do for years since he was in campus, because at the end of the day, he was wondering that how come we have like the likes of Jumia, people can sell electronics and whatnot. Why don't you have such a platform for fashion? And fashion is such a huge market within the industry, in our country and even in our continent. So then they met with the other co-founder. His name is Ray. They were both working at another startup, and Ray at the time was also selling fashion. So he was doing his own he had his own like a page where he used to sell, like he had his own brand for selling t-shirts and designing them as well. So they really got to talk a lot about the fashion space and whatnot. And Benedict, of course, shared the idea to start Lukhu, and that's how it started. And it was just before the pandemic started. So when the pandemic started, of course, we realized people were told you can't
go so much, like in terms of sales during the pandemic.
Sorry?
You must have made a lot of money during the pandemic. You started at the right time. Because you know what? During the pandemic, I myself is when I realized that I can't live in a world where there's absolutely no, I can't live in a country that doesn't have online stores or e-commerce. Like, that's when I realized that I need to order for everything. The medication, I need to everything. I didn't want to step even a step out of my house. So I can imagine, did the pandemic period influence a lot in terms of your strategy?
So actually, during the pandemic period is where we were starting out. So it's where we were putting the ideas together. We were, like doing a lot of market research. So going to the ground, we didn't have the app yet. We didn't have the product out yet. So we were going to the market, we're talking to sellers in Toy, we're talking to sellers in Gikomba, talking to sellers in town, asking them about their experience now. How would they feel about having an online platform to sell? And, this is what you're trying to achieve. Does it make sense for you? Do you think it would make sense for your business in the long run? So we were doing a lot of market research. So we weren't really transacting during that time. We didn't have a product out yet. So, so during that time, we realized also, of course, we realized that most people move now to buying things online, because remember, we were being told that you can't go to crowded places. And most of where people buy thrift is in the markets, the crowded places. So people couldn't go there. So you found a lot more fashion stores started opening on social media platforms, and they were getting a lot of traction, because that's the only that's really the only place where people could buy fashion, so on social media. So, and that's when literally everything was moving, like the economy and everything was moving towards that direction. So I feel like it was the right time for us to even have the idea and to start building whatever, to start building our platform, because it was the time where people were experimenting the concept that we have. So people had now started buying online and buying fashion online. So people are learning how to do it. You'd find someone would go and order and they don't know their size, or, they don't know a few things the major things that you need to know before you start buying things online. So we'd find that during that time, people were learning. It's like, the pandemic was also working in our favor as well, with just familiarizing people with this mode of buying fashion. So as we were building our product, also we were learning from the experiences as at now, and just trying to fix everything based on what we hear and what we see from our sellers, and also from people around us, rather, or from our experience.
I am guilty. I buy a lot of fashion online, and sometimes this is so much, I can't even wear it. So how do I sell it and all of that? So is it that, do I have to be a seller who owns a fashion brand? Or for example, if I have things I've bought all over the place that I cannot even wear. Can I come to Lukhu and say, look, I'm selling these things? Do you facilitate people like me?
Yes, yes, you can declutter your closet. I mean, when you're a user on Lukhu, you're not strictly like restricted as a buyer or restricted as a seller. So when you sign up to Lukhu, you can easily just start selling and list your products from home. So if you want to declutter your closet, or if you have a lot of things that you really not wearing or can't fit you, you can just take a picture of the item, make sure the item is like, you just do a really nice picture of the item and list the item on Lukhu, and you'll be able to reach many people who would be able to buy, or reach a huge target audience.
I mean, Anne reached out. She says, what inspired you to get the name Lukhu? Great innovation there. I don't know, maybe I don't know, Lukhu, is it from look this way, look, I don't know.
So yes, it's kind of Sheng. It's Sheng actually, which is a slang in Kenya for like your outfit or how you look, like the drip that you have. So a lot of, during even the pandemic, you'd find a lot of songs were coming out inspired with the whole idea of Lukhu. Everyone was just talking about Lukhu, how you look, your drip. So yeah, we just hopped onto the wave.
Oh, that's amazing. So it's a representation of fashion and everything.
Yes. So basically, to the Kenyan, like to a regular Kenyan person, Lukhu is, and not even just Kenya, I've even seen it with even West African music and their content. Lukhu is basically like your drip or your sense of style. You know what I mean? I don't know how to, yeah, but yeah, your sense of style.
I mean, that's really nice. Yeah, good to learn. I absolutely have no idea. But to be honest with you, I always feel like Kenya is such a diverse, cutthroat market. Mm-hmm. I want to take this away from the sellers and bring it to the entrepreneur as the business for you, because at the end of the day, we have to draw inspiration from this. They are obviously, when you look around, there's so much competition and all of that. But what makes Lukhu, apart or special, or how do you even deal with this? The opportunity is immense, it's massive, but also it's such a huge market with a lot of people doing literally the same thing. How do you stand out?
So, yes, Kenya is a really tough market to work with, but I feel like for us, we are Kenyans, and also we have done a lot of market research. So we have really been on the ground. We've been talking to our users, we've been talking to sellers and buyers. We have been putting ourselves, like even doing research on other people who are selling online, and not only like big brands, or just the normal seller, just an average seller selling online. We've done extensive research on what they're doing, what they're experiencing, like their challenges, what they like about it, and how we can make it better. So I feel like with Lukhu, at the end of the day, we are literally just we are growing even with the environment and the economy that we're in. We're doing a lot of learning. We're doing a lot of adjustments. If one thing is working, the other thing is not working. Our ears are on the ground, so we're literally listening to our users and listening to our potential users, and just trying to build something that would really make sense for our users and our market, and make the experience better, the shopping experience.
In Kenya? Are you only operating within Kenya? Sorry, I missed that part.
So as of now, we're just in Kenya because we're starting out, but of course we have plans to expand to other markets. And of course, when we are scaling, sorry?
Is it in Kenya or outside Kenya? And if in Kenya, is it within Nairobi or even outside Nairobi?
Okay, so Lukhu launched in April of this year publicly, and we've started with Nairobi for now, because also we're moving as like we're taking a step at a time. So we're learning how we are starting with a small area. We learn the market. We try and find solutions to serve the market better, than grow. So as of now, we're still in Nairobi. But of course, we're planning to scale to outside Nairobi, and also in the near future scale to the rest of Africa, because we feel like our solution, whatever it is we're trying to solve, what we're trying to solve actually is an issue that is faced by many African countries as well. So, of course, yes, it's in our plan, it's in our roadmap. We are going to be extending to other regions. And when that time comes as well, like I've said, the way we've been doing a lot of extensive market research in Kenya, we'll do the same within the other regions as well. So to provide that works for them.
Just fashion limiting? Like, I would love to go and buy like a shoe and then buy like a flat iron here and be able to buy a lipstick here. Is this something that once in a while makes you feel like, oh, we gotta move it faster so that we can be able to diversify and have more products on that? Is this something you've noticed?
So for the moment, we really just wanted to serve the fashion market.
Yeah.
Because also the fashion industry in Kenya, of course, you'd find like it's not really developed to a point where you'd want it or we'd want it to be. People consume a lot of fashion, but there's not really a lot of like the fashion culture in the country. It's now starting out, and it's also like growing consistently, but now it's not something that is there. So we feel like the fashion market or the fashion space really needs this as well, so that like we can also be able to build a culture around it. We can be able to build like, you know, a proper community around it as well. So that's why we're really focusing on fashion. But in the long run, we don't want it to just be shoes and clothes only, but also just everything that pertains, like, you know, your whole look, the whole idea of look, or your whole look, including your makeup or, you know, the hair. But that's something that we're going to work on in the near future. But as of now, how we're starting, we've started with the fashion space.
What percentage do you charge, like for people that actually sell on the platform?
So when you list your items on Lukhu, we charge a 10% commission, but not on the seller. So the item, if you list an item for 100 shillings, it'll reflect on the platform as 110 shillings. So that's how we make money. So it's 10% of every item, the price of every item.
Is that working out for the business?
Yes, so far so good. It's been working out. Initially, we had started with 15%, but also we had conversations with our sellers, we had conversations with our buyers, and based on the feedback that we got, we had to strategize and also make it make sense for us as a business and also for the users as well. So the 10%, basically, it's offering like it's just for the extra services that we're offering on our platform. So of course, the security of your item, you know, guaranteed that this item I'm buying from a specific seller. And we also have like an escrow wallet. So when you place an order, you pay first, but the money stays in limbo until you receive the item that you've ordered for. So the moment that you confirm that you've received your item and it's okay, then the money is automatically released to the seller. So with that, we're ensuring the security of your money. So having that also, that's an extra service that is included in the 10%. Another thing, of course, is the packaging materials, because we're offering packaging materials and we're not charging either the seller or the buyer for it. So with the extra, well, during the order placement. So with the extra 10%, we'll be also be able to cater for the packaging of the materials, and also in case the order is not up to your satisfaction or it's not what you ordered, when you return the item, we facilitate for the return and refund. So, you know, if you're returning something, we have to organize for a rider to come pick the item for you and all that. You will not be charged any extra cost for that as well. So with all these extra services that we're offering with our buyers, that's why the 10%, that's why we include the 10% in every order.
You know what's interesting is that I go through a lot of Instagram. I used to buy a lot of things on Instagram, especially I would look, you know, you just go to one store and then they recommend like 20 stores, and then you realize you bought things you don't really need. And obviously along the way you're just thinking, okay, these are just too many stores at the same time. Do you also have a strategy of identifying people that, for example, have these online stores and tell them, look, you can actually get as much in terms of doing it in a proper professional way on our platform than, you know, having to take small products in your house and selling them out.
Yeah, so yes, one of the main features of our platform is discovery. So yes, we have over yes, we have over 40,000 items listed on the platform, but you can search. So you see, the biggest challenge right now, even with buying online, when you buy on Instagram, say you're scrolling on your profile and you see some shoes that you really like, yeah, but maybe for some reason you can't buy it now. So you'll be like, oh, this shoe looks really nice. Then you scroll. But a bit later, you might not be able to remember the name of the shop because you'll see several shoes as well during that period of time.
Absolutely. That's what, like, it just crowds your judgment. You look
exactly.
at store and then you just have all these 10 stores just piling up. It's just so crazy.
Exactly.
And now I said I don't do Instagram shopping, never again, because it's just too confusing for my own good.
Yeah, and that's even you'd find even a lot, like many times people on their stories, they're asking, where can I get maybe this type of shoe, or where can I get, like, recommend a seller who sells 1, 2, 3. So I feel like the discovery bit on social media is a bit difficult, but if you come on Lukhu, if you don't remember the seller name, you can search by item. So you see, instead of going to Instagram and asking people to recommend a place where they can buy, for example, Air Force Ones, you can just come and search for Air Force Ones on Lukhu and you'll get...
and it gives you all the sellers?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, so you'll be able to see them on an item basis. You can look at different sellers, the different prices that they're selling. So you can have you'll have a variety to choose from. And yeah, so the whole discovery bit is, I think, a major part of what you're trying to achieve and what you're trying to solve from how things are currently working right now.
I mean, since you launched, you said you launched this year in April.
Yes.
Since you launched, what has been the biggest challenge you've encountered, especially in this market?
So yeah, the biggest challenge would be convincing just convincing people to trust you as a brand and like start selling online with you guys. So you'd find people already, first of all, by the time you're going to approach someone to their shop, like, do you have a business card, do you have this, identification, and then you tell them about selling online, especially sellers who have physical shops in the markets. You'd find that they really don't trust the online space, right? So they already have like reservations about selling online, about how people interact with their sellers. They say, I mean, their buyers, they say, like, me, my customers, they come, I like it when they come and look at an item and they try it on and they like it, then they'll go. I'd like to have the one-on-one interaction. So convincing them to to convert is a little bit difficult. And also just like, I don't know how to put it, but yeah, I think basically that's really the major issue, like getting people to trust the online.
Yeah, it's Africa. It's in terms of trust. We still have a very long way to go. Like you mentioned in the beginning, you order something and then you get something different. So, and there is not as much accountability, obviously, in the past, that if somebody scams you, you're going to take them to police, or you're going to the refund and all of that. You don't usually get it back. So it's and I think for me, this is where platforms like yours are very important, because then you can be held accountable. And then for you can first go and look for that sale. I'm hoping that's how it works. If I receive something that is not what was advertised, I can easily come back to you and make you accountable for this person that actually probably has scammed me. Have you encountered anything like that?
So right now, not yet. We haven't encountered scamming because, of course, with the escrow wallet that we have, people's money, the money is safe. So as a seller, I can't get the money if I haven't delivered this item to the person, to the buyer, and they approve that the item is okay. And for me as a buyer, my money is still in my wallet. I can still see it until the moment I see my item and I confirm that everything is okay. So it's
absolutely
so far so good. Safe, but maybe just to back up like what you said, another like a major issue that maybe we have faced, another one is you'd have sellers, the sellers that we have on our platform, you'd find they're selling in multiple platforms, which is completely okay. But you'd find maybe the listings that they have, like the products they have put maybe on Instagram and the same products they've put on Lukhu. And so someone would make a sale on Instagram and forget to update the stock or the listing on Lukhu. So when someone comes to buy something,
they are selling something that they've already sold out to, you know.
Yes, so you'd find someone comes and places an order, and you'd find that the item is already sold out. So we'd have to first start looking for an alternative item. And already now you see we've already disappointed the buyer, of course, because now we have to cancel the order, and but because we face that issue, we also have like a solution for that. So we're trying to build an operating system that you can be able to manage your inventory on all platforms. So we won't just be forcing you to just sell on Lukhu only, because also as an entrepreneur, you need to sell on multiple platforms to be able to reach multiple people. So we're building an operating system that will be able to help our sellers to manage their inventory in different platforms. So if I'm selling this shoe on both Lukhu, Instagram, Facebook, the moment it's sold on either platform, it will reflect on all the platforms as well. So that's something that we're working on building, and hopefully it will be done by the next quarter as well. So yeah.
Inshallah. I want to take you back to a point that you guys started working on Lukhu way before COVID. I'm assuming that's in 2019.
Yes.
And you just launched.
Yes. So the idea was in 2019. The idea actually started a long time ago, but the planning and everything, taking it seriously now, moving from just having a conversation about it to actually doing something about it. We started that in 2020. So working a plan around it, and even starting building the app. So that was in 2021. We built the app, engineered, doing our research. Then launched it in April 2022.
I mean, this is my question. 2019 to 2022 is a long time for ideation, if that's even the English word, to putting together strategy and then launching. A lot of businesses in Africa, you'll ask founders and they'll be like, oh, we started, when did you have their idea in a month? And a couple of months down the road, you're launching. So it looks like you've done extensive research and a lot of planning, putting, the platform together, but also being able to identify who your clientele is. To what extent is this important, especially in starting a business, seeing that we're talking to you as a co-founder or a founding executive? Is this something you can talk to us about?
Yes, I think it's very important to take your time. There's a saying that goes like, good things take time. So take your time, don't rush it. Do extensive market research. You want to, because at the end of the day, what you're building a solution for people. You're not building something for yourself. So of course you need to be on the ground. You need to be talking to the people. You need to do a lot of research, understanding your market, and making sure now as you're building it and as you're planning it out, you're literally serving your audience. So from all the research that you have and everything, whatever it is you're trying to build or whatever you're trying to put out there is something that will serve people, that will make sense for the audience that you're reaching out to, so that also you get the demand. People now see the value of what it is you're building. So I feel like it's very important to take your time, do your research, talk to whoever you need to talk to, go on the ground, be undercover or, whatever, but just take your time, because if you're building something, you need good things time. So yeah, take your time.
And I mean, it's quite interesting for me when I'm speaking to founding executives or founders that are women. It's even more interesting. I'm like, I am proud of you. Most importantly, a market that is very shrewd, obviously. So we want to learn beyond just also sitting on the platform. We want to learn from you and some of the things that, probably help you move the platform to another level. And even you and I being here having a conversation, I know it's taken a bit steps that have gone beyond comfort. Can we do this? Can we do that? And, and we just decided to be open-minded and try it out. And obviously, I'm hoping people are learning from that. I mean, it's such an interesting journey, and I really would like to ask some of the tips, tricks, and advice that you could leave for young entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs who want to get into different spaces. I mean, there's e-commerce, there's fintech, there's media. Everybody feels like they want to go out there and do something, but there's always a rush. Like I said earlier on, some people just have an idea in a month, execution a month later. Obviously, there's less time needed, but maybe it's not as important. What are some of those lessons you can share with us that you've learned along the way?
So to start, like I think I've mentioned it a lot during this live. Of course, you need to know your audience. So yeah. I had mentioned the customer obsession. Know your audience. Do your research, who you're trying to target. It might, like you said, it varies. Like the amount of time someone takes to do their research would vary based on the exposure that you have as well. So you might find someone would take a shorter time to start their business, which is perfectly fine if they know the audience properly. But I feel like the most important thing before you start is you need to know your audience. You need to know who you're targeting. And then once you know them, you profile them. So for example, I'll speak a lot more in the fashion, like inclined to the fashion space because that's where I'm at. But yeah, so once you know who your target audience is, you need to profile your users. So for example, if I know I'm targeting ladies between 26 and 30, I need to know, like, okay, so what is trending for them, what pieces of fashion would work for them, where are they in their life right now. So are these people who are working, are these people who are going to have babies, are these people who are going to be married, this is the space they're in life right now. So what do they need for them in this space, or something like that. Or yeah, just really just being obsessed with who they are. Just do a whole profile of them. Then now when you do your whole profile, you'll be able to know what items to get, or what to sell to them. And then once you do that, you'll be able now to get your supply. For your supply, like I mentioned earlier, you had said if it's someone who's just starting out, or if you want to sell the items that you have at home, so you can start with that. You can start with the items. Maybe if you want to declutter your closet, you can start with that. Or even just going physically to the market, looking at different items, buying items. You don't need to buy an entire bill to start a business. You can even buy 5 items and just list them and make your profit. Next time you can buy 10, the other time you can buy a little bit more. So yeah, just
I'm glad you're talking about starting small, because a lot of people will talk to you, I don't have funding, I don't have money. To what extent is really funding or access to capital really important in starting out a business or a platform, or even having an idea, move from one? For you, how did you do it even?
So yeah, if you have the idea just starting, I mean, work out your plan. You might not need the capital even to start. For example, if you want to start a shop, you want to start selling fashion, you can start with decluttering your closet, like we had mentioned. You can easily just start with whatever it is you have. So you have not put any extra money towards that. But now when you sell it with maybe like a profit margin, you'll be able now to buy, some more items now moving forward, like after you now made the sales, you can be able to buy something else and now grow in that way. So you can just start small, look at what is available to you as of now. So if you have your idea, you work it out, then look at what is available to you. You'd find even for us now with the whole startup as well, we started with the idea. We started now talking to each other, building, doing our research, building our idea on it, but we didn't have investment from the get-go. So you find for the longest time, you'd find like-minded people who would be willing to work with you to build whatever you're building, who believe in what you're trying to build. And so you work together to build it, to get it to a point where now you can start seeking investment, and now you can start, putting your brand or the whole idea out there as well. So as long as you have your idea, just work out a plan around it. Look at who you can work with to help you to get to that point. Because also, there's this song, Savara, The Human Currency, like having people who you're talking to, that's like having people who you're working with, that's still currency at the end of the day. So you
Yeah,
find
absolutely.
building something together, and you guys are not making any money out of it, but you guys are sharing a big vision. So at the end of the day, you're like, wow, hey, in fact, I'm so broke, and I can't do 1, 2, 3, 4. But at the end of the day, we still show up for calls. You're like, okay, we don't even have fuel to come to the office, but let's do a virtual call because we're working towards a bigger dream. And at the end of the day, you'll build something that now we can even be able to present it to other people or to present it to investors.
So there's that part of partnerships that is very important, and partnerships can be family, partnerships can also be friends, and it can be, I mean, when you were talking earlier, when we had a pre-chat before we brought in the audience, you mentioned to me that there are a lot of mistakes buyers and sellers make with selling and buying online, and I have to say, I am such an impulsive buyer. That's one of my biggest, probably. Weaknesses. Obviously, there are so many that you've seen over time. What are some of those you would share with us as buyers that we need to be careful about, but also as sellers that we need to put across, for example, before making even a decision to start out to sell, or if I start, I want to learn from the mistakes that have been done by people that have been there before me.
Mm-hmm. So as a buyer, I think I'll also speak from my own experience and also just seeing what is on the platform. Number one, know your size. Yeah, as a buyer, you need to know your
problem, Fiona. You can never know your size. A friend of mine told me everything they have bought was just never their size because for some reason it's not made for the African market. But because it's what we're selling, for example, if I'm decluttering my closet and it's all Zara, it's a different size. It's an European size. So if you bring that African, even now when I buy from African designers, to be honest, I have to tell them, this is how my body is. I am this size, but this is how my body is shaped. And I always feel like, why do we always have to explain to designers or even to tell? Because I wear a lot of local designers. Why do we have to always explain to them that even though I'm a size 8, 10, my body is shaped like this? So please put this into consideration if you're making this particular outfit. So I just feel like you can never get it right with the African market, can you?
Actually, it's funny you've mentioned that you're having this conversation with a stylist. Her name is iStyle. So she was telling me that you'd find with the African market, you'd find for like African women, very few times you'll find that the size for the upper body size and lower body size does not match. You'd find that maybe you're a size 8 up here and down here you're a size 10 or a size 12. So you'd find that is something that varies. And now with that insight that we got from her, it's something that we're also trying to build on our platform, where we do like we want it to be more interactive. So working with stylists like that, they understand that. And also now we want our buyers to know that we understand that you might not be the same size or how standard, like how it is done in the market right now, standard. So what we want to do is we work with stylists, we even use actual people to model for these items. Yeah. So you find someone who actually looks like us, who is, the body shape is like, a typical African person. So you'd find, yes, the different sizes up and top and bottom, we find we can mix and match items on the platform and post them and market them being as a whole set. So you'll be able to know, okay, so this top is a size, this lady looks like me. She's probably a size, she's a size 10 at the top, size 14 at the bottom.
In like Fashion Over platform?
Sorry?
The Fashion Over platform where, they have different sizes of women.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So yeah, we want it to be more interactive in a way that when you come to check out our platform, it's not just the clothes you see, but you also see actual people who look like you, someone now you can easily be able to like buy things from, because it makes sense for you as well. And instead of just buying just the top as well, you can be able to, you'll be more inclined to buy it as a sale because you like, as I said, because you like the whole look. So yeah, that's something that we're planning on offering on our platform. But at the end of the day, yes, knowing your size is very, very, very because when you're buying online, you're not there to fit it. So it's just seeing, and someone has written the size. So if it's UK, let's say UK 14, you would need to just search it based on like maybe US sizes or, you know, different other sizes. So yeah.
You know, I'm just thinking, just hypothetically, I'm like, why do we have to say UK 14, US 10? Why can't we find like Africa 10, African, 6? Because now, this is the African 6. And when you're even sending anything, get me an African size. But it's just like struggle to find size.
Yeah, so I think it's based on even where it was manufactured, and now even for like even with the Kenyan industry, you'd find that even like making fashion locally, it's not fully supported. Even the people who make fashion locally, they still outsource the fabrics that they make, and the things, and it's very expensive. So you'd find even locally people are not buying made in Kenya products because they say they're too expensive. But if you really look at the whole the whole ecosystem, they still also, even for them to make whatever it is they're making, they really invested a lot in that. So I feel like for that space, I think this would be a whole conversation for another day, but for that space,
local manufacturing fashion, honestly, I think it's high time we really went that way, because I'm just buying stuff, for example, in all these stores I don't even want to mention in Europe, and then you're just thinking, I could easily make this back in Nairobi if I have the fabric, I could make back in Kigali. I have a few designers I really love, but like you mentioned, the prices is really ridiculous. But I also understand the material, the space is not open. You're competing with second-hand clothes that actually have brands. You people are, having Louis Vuitton, which is real but second-hand. So that is really tough and stiff competition, and I feel like countries like Kenya have really embraced secondhand in a way that has been really massive. Even I don't know how local manufacturers survive within this, but it's good to see platforms like yours really giving a platform to sellers to be able to at least put their products out there. Obviously, we've talked about the buyer's side. What is that one trend you've noticed, and biggest mistake probably even about the sellers themselves?
So for the sellers, when you're selling online, I speak also again inclined to fashion, but for sellers, I feel like the number one thing is the pictures that you take of your products. So you need to really invest in good pictures, and by investing in good pictures, I don't mean getting models or the big cameras, but like looking at lighting. If you can go and take the picture of this item outside, or a background, there's some apps that are already out that even help you to clear a background and stuff like that. If you need to, like if you're thrifting, if you need to iron something, if you just post something and it's creased and it's not even straight because it's creased, it's really kunja and all that. So you'd find that because the picture of the item is the first impression, right? It's literally what gets the buyer to click on your item, to be able to want to know more. It's the same as even with the physical shops. You'd find sellers put the newest, the best items that they're selling on display, so that now it attracts people to come and check what is inside. You understand? So the pictures that you put out for your items, please just take your time with them. If you need to iron it, iron it. If you need to put it on a, in a certain way, you fold it in a particular way to make it look nice. I mean, it goes a long way, because for me, if I'm to scroll on the app and I see a creased item and it doesn't look good, the display is not good, I really wouldn't, and compared to something that looks good, I really wouldn't be inclined to look at that. So yeah, invest a lot in your pictures, in the photography, because that's now the front of your shop. That is what is going to call people to come and see what you're all about. So yeah, I think that's one of the major ones. And also selling on selling on multiple platforms. So you'd find that you're approaching some sellers who are on Instagram and their businesses are really booming, and they tell you they're not really interested because, yes, they have a huge following on Instagram or Facebook. But at the end of the day, the more platforms you use, the better for you, because the more visibility you get. So you might find that people who would go on Lukhu and not go on Instagram, people who go on Instagram and not go on Lukhu. So you would need to like be open to just looking at different platforms as well. Yes, to grow your business, to just expand on the number of people who get to see your items. And now, based on maybe the experience you get based on the platform, on the various platforms, then you would know how to direct your traffic of your items or the products that you're selling. Because to make
having this chat, I had a friend of mine who she should be among the audience, and she said to me, "Can you really make some bucks of selling online?" I said, "I spend a lot of money on buying online." So as I said, obviously, definitely, you should be making money because we are paying all the time, and the fact that online purchases, you don't see the money going because it's easy to spend. There's a way it's comfortable slashing your card, or entering your credit card details, or even doing a pesa, because it doesn't feel like my money is being taken away vis-a-vis getting cash to buy. So the amount of transactions that are made online is unbelievably crazy. Obviously, I know we have like 2 minutes left, and I just want to end it at this for me as we go forward. We've talked about where to start, how to start, but there's always a part of the story that we never tell, and for me it's very important. Obviously, we've talked about your business, the journey, how it was founded, and the fact that there was a demand, and it's something that one of the founders was doing individually, but there was a demand to expand and be able to cater for the growing population of Nairobi that really wants comfort, and everybody wants comfort. You want to be able to order. I don't even like when I have to go and enter the pay bill. When you buy electricity and you put the tokens. I always feel like, why can't the tokens automatically load themselves? Yeah, somebody has to invent that, because it's a lot of time to buy online. It's not comfortable, and then to go and start pressing 1, 2, it just doesn't add up. But anyway. What is the underlining, what is the other side of the story that is actually the beginning point of online sales, online buying, in your own words, as we end this broadcast or this Instagram Live? Combining the mistakes, the challenges and everything, what is that side of the story that we never know, that you could leave us with, that this is actually what the reality is, and this is how you begin?
So, I think for the seller, how to begin is just start. All right. So, with even the items in your home, like we had mentioned, decluttering your closet, you just start. And I think I would advise you to start on a platform like Lukhu, because with Lukhu, we support you with, your marketing. We'll support you with managing your shop. And also at the end of the day, we'll also support you and empower you with tips and know-hows to, to grow your business, and education on how to grow your business. So I feel like Lukhu would be a really good place to start. And you also, you're exposed to more customers, you're exposed to more than 6,000 people on the platform. 1,600 people on the platform, and which is growing as well. And we'll be able to properly support you in growing your business. So I think Lukhu is a good place to start. And moving forward.
The tips you want to give us on how to grow the business, I think for me those are even more important, because obviously when I log on and start selling my products, that's not it.
Yeah.
What are those 3 tips you would leave us with?
To grow your business, so once you start selling, track your sales. Right? So literally everything that is sold, even if it's just one item, make sure you do your bookkeeping. So make sure you write how much this item cost, how much it costs you to deliver, how much it costs you for this, break everything down, so that even when it comes now to reconciling your books, you'll be able to understand where you're spending your money and be able to make better business decisions moving forward for your products. So manage, be be very cautious about your selling habits and manage your bookkeeping properly. Also, be very organized with your inventory. So make sure you know what is sold, make sure you know what is still available in stock. So that to avoid having people coming to ask for something that you said is there and is not available in stock. So be very organized with your stock, managing your stock. What else would I say? Don't give up. Don't give up. It's easy because even when starting a business, then like you face challenges. So even as you're working your plan, also work out a contingency plan, so a backup plan, where if this doesn't work, I can try this approach. If I do this and this happens, I'll be able to try 1, 2, 3. Like always have a backup plan, but never give up. You'll definitely you face blockers, you'll face challenges, whether you're building even if you're building a huge business or something small, you'll always face challenges, and you'll always get proper character development during that whole process. So I feel like just don't give up. Just know that people have been there, people have these challenges, people have come up with ideas and they haven't fallen through, but they still start again and they build an even bigger and even better platform, or bigger and better ideas. So yeah, don't give up. So I think those are
I mean, this is amazing. Track your sales. Obviously, you have to be cautious about what you've sold at what a particular time. Organize your inventory. That reminds me of what you said earlier. Somebody sells on Instagram and then they still list the same stuff on your platform. I mean, you can't keep disappointing customers. Customers are very impatient, and we have so many options. I am telling you, sometimes I'm stuck between what to buy. And obviously, what's very important, don't give up. And Sheila says something here, also positioning your product in an attractive way. It is visually attractive. If it is visually attractive, it is easy to sell. I agree with you, Sheila, 100%. I know there are things I've bought that looked really nice, and they still look. But when I wear them, maybe they're not nice, but I feel like I love them. They look so nice. I still want them, so it's always that dilemma.
And also to add on that, even when you're listing the products, the items that you're selling, just do your best to list them with actual people, or just list the actual picture of the item. You'd find some sellers list items with like an Asian person, the ones that you'd find online. So an Asian person is wearing the item, or someone like you'd be able to tell that this might not be the item I would. And you'd find, even when we're interacting with buyers and you send something like that to a buyer, someone will be like, am I sure this is what I'll get? Like, are you sure this is the item I'll get? Because you can see already this is the picture that has been gotten from online. But if you use, even if, yes, the pictures are available online, but you just take the actual picture of the item that you have, it also gives someone, someone can easily trust you as well moving forward. So, and it's a higher chance of someone buying from you. So,
and obviously, make sure that it's very attractive, like Sheila said, because you don't want to take a picture that is of a dress that is folded and all not ironed. I mean, it might be the most beautiful dress, but I would be very, very skeptical about purchasing it. So for me, I think it's really, really, very important. Fiona, we've gone overboard for 6 minutes. I know we started on time. Thank you so much. To everybody that has tuned in today, thank you so much. I hope you've picked some lessons, tips, and tricks on how to sell online or even buy online. I personally can't wait to reach out to you to be able to declutter my closet. I hope I can be able to make some money, but obviously just to equip you with just knowledge. But we hope you can be able to list and be able to put your products on Lukhu and reach out if there's anything we can support with. And Fiona, thanks for making time, and to the audience, thanks for making time on this Thursday, as we call it in Nairobi, Friday. Have a wonderful See you next time. We'll be back here talking about something else.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And to the team that put this together, thanks to you too. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.